Let's bring it over to the blue couches. We're going to welcome in our first guest today. Dr. Fernando Maranhão is with endocrinology at LECOM. We're here to talk about a subject which we said off camera. We need much more than our normal 4 minutes to talk about.
Yes.
Staying healthy, eating healthy, trying to stick with a plan through the holidays.
Yes, this is a broad topic, and we'll cover as much as we can. It reminds me of a time where at the end of a diabetic appointment with a patient, she stopped and said, "Doctor, next week I'll be turning 90. Is it okay if I have a piece of cake?" And I say, of course it is. And the same might be thought of the holidays. They come but once a year, and food is a central part of the celebration. So of course we're going to want to have all those wonderful foods that we enjoy once a year, and maybe even the desserts too. But what we don't want to do is overeat. So how do we manage that? And you know, it's not the first plate that caused any issues, it's the second, right? That's where the overeating kind of occurs. And one of the reasons we kind of fall victim to that is there is in fact roughly a 20-minute delay from our stomach to our brain.
Yes.
You know, telling us when we're actually full, consciously knowing when we're kind of at our limit. And if we go ahead and don't feel it after the first plate and we have our second plate, then afterwards we're paying for it, and we said, geez, we overdid it.
So true. That happens to me all the time, and I'm always so surprised. It's like, well, when are you going to figure this out?
Well, we don't. You know, we just have to step away a little bit after that first plate. Let some time elapse. And I tell my patients that all the days, not just the holidays, get away from the plate. You know, go do maybe your favorite thing that you like to do, and then that will distract you, and then 20 minutes elapses, you realize you're actually full and you're not interested in that second plate.
I think what comes with the holidays, the first thing I think of are those traditional Christmas cookies. We're all baking them, we're all making them, we're all serving them, we're all gifting them. What are some ways to enjoy it without overdoing it?
Well, one of the things you can do is if you know the holiday is coming and you're going to want to enjoy all those things, you could try to be a little bit better the days leading to the holiday. So maybe you don't have that big bagel breakfast sandwich every morning for the week or two leading up to the holiday. You eat a little leaner. You have the yogurt, you know, or you have that salad for lunch instead of the chips and sandwich. You're kind of stealing from Peter to pay Paul. You eat a little healthier leading to, or maybe even after the holidays. And then you don't need to necessarily feel as guilty when you are enjoying yourself during the holiday time.
What's more important, your exercise plan or your dietary habits?
Well, you know, those are both two very important things. But we all have to eat 3 or 4 meals every day, and the choices that are made with those have great repercussions. So the diet is the biggest impact, truly, when it comes to our weight and things. Exercise is great. If we can add it, yes, please do. But there's many people who can't really integrate a lot of exercise due to maybe some of their health concerns. But we all have to eat. So the good choices with the eating is the most important part for weight.
How about substituting, making rich dips with perhaps yogurt, Greek yogurt, as opposed to the cream cheese? There are substitutions that you could be making along the way as well.
Well, absolutely. And that leads me to another topic is, you know, what are our healthy foods that we should be choosing? And year after year, it's the Mediterranean diet. And this is proven by the U.S. News and World Report and Cleveland Clinic and Mayo Clinic, and everyone falls back to the Mediterranean diet as what we should be eating. Not a transient, not a passing diet, not something we're doing for a week or two just to drop some pounds. This is how we should eat every day.
A lifestyle, not a diet.
Exactly, exactly. It's what we're eating a day. You mentioned yogurt, for example, chickpeas, hummus, things like that. So from the Mediterranean area, Italy, Greece, that whole region, this is the diet that those people mostly follow. And we recommend it because they have the greatest longevity and the least amount of chronic diseases, heart failure, cancers, in fact. So that's the healthy model that we try to instill. So how can you do that? Well, it starts at the grocery store, right? So when you walk in, you first encounter the fruits and vegetables. So we should be eating far more vegetables than we typically do in an American diet. We once had the food pyramid that we tried to focus. We had that base of all the grains.
Right.
And we've realized that's not the right diet. And now we recommend a food plate, basically a plate that we show to our patients where half of it is green, representing vegetables, a quarter is protein, and a quarter is carbs. And then you see water and fruit on the side. That is how we should eat to avoid the weight gain and the problems with high sugars and in order to enjoy the holidays when they do come.
Right, because you do want to enjoy it. Like you said, they do come once a year. You should not, say you can't have any of that stuff, but be mindful of it. We were talking off camera that maybe after the first of the year, when everybody is focusing back on maybe some better healthy options, we should get together and have a much more long-form conversation about how to do that.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would as well. Thanks for joining us today. We do appreciate it.
Thanks
Merry
for having me.
Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.